Picture this. It's a quiet evening in Malibu. The sun is setting over the Pacific, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink. And somewhere in that California paradise, a pop star who once swung naked on a wrecking ball is sitting alone, scrolling through her phone. Her heart stops. The headline flashes across her screen like a punch to the gut. Her first love, her great love, the man who knew her before the world changed her forever, is engaged to someone else. This isn't just another celebrity breakup story. This is about what happens when the person who held your heart through your wildest transformation finds happiness with someone new. When the cameras have stopped rolling, when the stage lights go dark, when it's just you and the echoes of what used to be. Miley Cyrus thought she had moved on. She thought the scars had healed. But some wounds run deeper than we ever want to admit. Let me take you back to where it all began. Not with Hannah Montana, not with Disney, but with a teenage girl from Nashville who fell head over heels for an Australian actor with ocean blue eyes and a smile that could melt glaciers. The year was tanned. The year was still-tastic. Miley was still America's sweetheart. The girl who could do no wrong in Mickey Mouse ears. Liam Hemsworth was the new guy in Hollywood. Fresh off the plane from Melbourne, with dreams bigger than the Australian outback, they met on the set of The Last Song, a Nicholas Sparks movie about young love, second chances, and finding yourself in someone else's arms. If that's not poetry, I don't know what is. But here's the thing about movie magic. Sometimes, just sometimes, it spills over into real life. I think I was kind of looking for someone to take care of me, Miley would later say in interviews. And Liam? Well, Liam saw something in her that the rest of the world was missing. He saw past the spotlight, past the expectations, past the carefully crafted image. Their relationship became public in 2010. Young, love in the spotlight is a dangerous game, but they played it beautifully at first. Red carpets hand in hand. Paparazzi shots of them laughing on beaches. Instagram posts before Instagram was everything. They looked perfect together. The Disney princess and her real-life Prince Charming. America's royal couple in the making. By 2010, Miley was changing. The Hannah Montana wig was starting to feel like a straitjacket. The wholesome image was suffocating her creativity, her authenticity, her need to grow up and be seen as an adult. Liam watched from the sidelines as the girl he fell in love with began shedding, her skin like a butterfly breaking free from its cocoon. But butterflies sometimes need to fly alone before they know where they belong. They broke up in 2013, not quietly, not privately, in the full glare of the media spotlight, with every detail dissected by tabloids and every emotion put under a microscope. This was the era of We Can't Stop and Wrecking Ball. The era of twerking and tongue-wagging and shocking the world into remembering that little Miley Cyrus was all grown up. But here's what the headlines missed. Here's what the think pieces about her wild phase never understood. Every rebellious act, every provocative performance, every shocking moment, it was all a conversation with one person. Liam. They tried again in 2016. Love, it seems, doesn't follow breakup timelines or public relations strategies. Sometimes your heart just calls you back to the person who knows all your secrets. The reunion was quieter this time, more mature. Miley had gotten the rebellion out of her system. She'd cut her hair, found her voice, and learned that shocking the world gets old pretty quickly. They moved in together in Malibu. Adopted rescue dogs. Posted pictures of quiet Sunday mornings and hiking adventures. It felt different, steadier, like they'd both grown up enough to handle what they'd always had. In 2016, they got engaged. The ring was vintage, understated, beautiful. Not the massive rock you'd expect from a pop star engagement, but something with meaning, something that felt like them, For 2 years, they planned a future. Talked about kids and dreams and growing old together. They weathered scandals and career changes and all. The normal relationship stuff that gets magnified when you're famous. But then 2018 happened. The Woolsey fire swept through Malibu like nature's own wrecking ball, destroying their home and everything they'd built. Together, the divorce was finalized in January 2020. A decade-long love story reduced to legal paperwork and carefully worded statements. Miley moved on. She dated Caitlyn Carter, then Cody Simpson. She threw herself into music, into activism, into becoming the version of herself she was always meant to be. Liam disappeared from the spotlight. No dramatic social media posts, no tell-all interviews, no public rebounds. He just vanished into the kind of privacy that's rare in Hollywood. And that's where our story takes a turn. Because moving on isn't always a straight line. Healing isn't always permanent. And sometimes the person you thought you were over can still catch you completely off guard. Fast forward to 2024. Miley is thriving. She's won Grammys, headlined festivals, found her artistic voice in ways she never could have imagined as a teenager. She's in a good place, surrounded by people who love and support her. Then comes the news that changes everything. Liam Hemsworth is engaged. Not to another actress or model or Instagram influencer. To Gabriella Brooks, a model from Australia who's been quietly in his life for years. Someone who represents everything Miley never was. Stable, private, drama-free. According to sources close to the situation, the news hit Miley harder than anyone expected, including herself. She thought she was completely over him, one insider revealed. She's been happy, focused on her music and her life. But seeing him move on so completely, it brought back all these feelings she thought she'd dealt with. It's not jealousy. Exactly. It's something more complicated than that. It's the realization that someone who once knew every inch of your soul has built a completely new life where you don't exist at all. Imagine scrolling through your phone and seeing your first love's engagement announcement. The person who held you when you cried, who knew your dreams before you were brave enough to say them out loud. Who saw you at your worst and loved you anyway, celebrating the beginning of forever with someone. Else Miley is genuinely happy for him, another source explained. But she's also human. She's also someone who loved him deeply and thought, maybe in some corner of her heart, that their story wasn't completely finished. The thing about great loves is that they leave permanent marks. Not scars exactly, but something deeper, like invisible tattoos that only you can feel. Picture Miley in her current life, successful beyond her wildest teenage dreams, surrounded by friends and family and opportunities. Living authentically in ways she fought years to achieve. But then picture her seeing Liam smile in those engagement photos. The same smile that made her forget her lines on a movie set 15 years ago. The same smile that she woke up to in that Malibu house before it all burned down. She's been calling friends. Talking through these feelings, sources reveal. It's not that she wants him back. It's more like she's mourning something she didn't realize still lived inside her heart. This is the part of celebrity breakups that magazines don't cover. The part where you're moving forward with your life, building new dreams and new relationships. And then something happens that reminds you of what you used to be, of who you used to be when you were with them. Miley. Cyrus has never been one to hide from difficult emotions. From Hannah Montana to Wrecking Ball to Flowers, her entire career has been built on turning heartbreak into art, pain into power, confusion into clarity. But this is different. This is about looking backward when you've spent so much energy moving forward. Friends say she's been more reflective lately. Spending time alone, writing music that might never see the light of day. Processing feelings she thought were ancient history. Sometimes you think you're completely healed from something a close friend shared. And then life reminds you that healing isn't always linear. That some loves leave permanent impressions even when you've genuinely moved on. And maybe that's okay. Maybe the fact that Liam's engagement affected her doesn't mean she's stuck in the past. Maybe it just means she's human. Maybe it means that when you love someone with your whole heart at 17 and again at 23, and try to build a life with them at 26, maybe a part of you will always wonder what if. But here's what sources also say about Miley right now. She's not spiraling. She's not making dramatic decisions or posting cryptic social media messages. She's not trying to interfere with Liam's happiness or create drama where none should exist. She's just feeling, processing, honoring what they had while accepting what they don't have anymore. Miley knows that loving someone sometimes means letting them go completely. Another insider revealed. She wants Liam to be happy. She wants him to have the kind of love that works for who he is now. And maybe that's the most mature response possible. Maybe that's what real love looks like when it's forced to become something else. Because the truth is, Miley and Liam loved each other deeply. But they loved each other in different seasons of their lives. When they were different people with different needs and different dreams. The 17-year-old who fell in love on a movie set isn't the same person who's processing these feelings today. And the 20-year-old Australian actor who saw something special in a Disney star isn't the same man who's planning a wedding with someone else. People grow. People change. People become versions of themselves that require different kinds of love, different kinds of partnership, different kinds of forever. That doesn't make what they had less real. It doesn't make the pain less valid. It just makes it complicated. So where does this leave Miley? Where does this leave someone who's spent years building a life beyond her great love, only to discover that some part of her heart still lives in that space? Sources say she's channeling these feelings into her music. That some of her most honest, vulnerable songs are being written right now. In the aftermath of this unexpected emotional earthquake, she's always been her most authentic self when she's processing heartbreak, a music industry insider shared. Some of her greatest songs have come from her most difficult moments, and maybe that's Miley's superpower. Her ability to transform pain into art, confusion into clarity, heartbreak into something beautiful that helps other people feel less alone. Maybe seeing Liam's engagement announcement wasn't just about mourning what they used to have. Maybe it was about finally, fully accepting what they don't have anymore. Maybe it was about closure she didn't know she still needed. Picture Miley today. Not the teenager who fell in love on a movie set. Not the 20-something trying to figure out who she was. But the 31-year-old woman who's built an entire life on her own terms. She survived child stardom, public breakdowns, media scrutiny, natural disasters, and heartbreaks that played out in front of the entire world. She's emerged stronger, more authentic, more comfortable in her own skin than ever before. And maybe that's the real story here. Not that Miley was hurt by Liam's engagement, but that she's strong enough now to feel that hurt without being destroyed by it. Strong enough to wish him well while honoring her own complicated emotions, strong enough to love what they had without needing it to be what they have. Now she's in a really good place, sources conclude. This was just a moment, a reminder of how much they meant to each other. But she's not stuck there. She's moving forward, with gratitude for what was and excitement for what's still to come. Love stories don't always end with wedding bells and happily ever after. Sometimes they end with two people who shaped each other in fundamental ways, who will always carry pieces of each other. Finding different kinds of happiness with different people, sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone you once loved is the space to love someone else. completely dut, and sometimes getting your heart broken by the same person twice teaches you something beautiful about resilience, about growth, about the difference between loving someone and being able to build a life with them. Miley Cyrus will be okay. She's survived worse. She's built herself back from ashes before, literally and figuratively. But tonight, somewhere in her world, she might play wrecking ball one more time. Not because she wants him back, but because she wants to honor what they had. Because some loves deserve to be remembered, even when they're finally fully let go. What do you think? Have you ever experienced that moment when someone from your past moves on so completely that it catches you off guard? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to Luminoir for more stories that explore the complicated, beautiful, messy reality of love and loss in the spotlight.